Alright, we're not like in our usual setup, but hey everyone, my name is Noelle. Welcome back to my channel. I just completed nursing school and today's video is what it was like completing my last Unit 6 test of my fourth semester. Sorry, I'm like all over the place. These clips are kind of in the past. It's taken me a while to get this out. I apologize. But this is just the journey, the last 2 weeks of nursing school before my finals and what it was like preparing for this test. Whew, I feel like that was a mouthful. All right, if you are in nursing school, or if you're a mom or you're pregnant and you're in nursing school or going to go to nursing school this fall, hit that subscribe button because I went through the trenches in nursing school and maybe I can help you out. Maybe we can become online besties. I would love that. Go ahead and like this video or share it with a friend. I really would appreciate it and it would help my channel out. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, so if you can make that happen, I would really appreciate it. All right, let's get into the video. Okay, and so throughout this video, I was kind of taking you along like the steps needed to prepare for NCLEX. There's a lot of like little things that you had to do. And I had this class called Nursing Seminar, which prepared us and gave us deadlines. And like, if you completed that deadline, say, pay the $200 for the NCLEX and register, then you got $100 for like that test grade. So it was kind of like one of those busy classes just to prepare you for the NCLEX. And we did have HESIs for that class as well. Because there's one part in here I'm going to go get my fingerprints done, and sadly I did not record in there just because it felt kind of awkward recording like someone in law enforcement like doing my fingerprints. But yes, you will get your fingerprints done. You will have to submit that to the Board of Nursing, not the Pearson NCLEX people. You submit your fingerprints to the Board of Nursing for whatever state that you're going to have your license with. And then there's certain deadlines. There's certain deadlines that you have to meet as far as going ahead and applying. Baby. No. Alright, not sure where I was at, but there are certain steps that you have to first complete. The first thing I did was go to the Nurse Gateway on mine was Mississippi Board of Nursing. So I created a Nurse Gateway, I think that's what it's called. Register for that. I don't think you have to pay for anything, but you do have to like create a username, and then after that it'll have like requirements, and then once you have met those requirements, like it'll turn green with a check mark. So if you haven't met those requirements, it'll be red with an X. So say like you don't have your fingerprints, well that's an X. Once you've signed up for that, then you go and sign up for the NCLEX, and that's a $200 right then and there. When you sign up for NCLEX, you will not be signing up to take your test. You will get an email when you are approved to take the test. That right there was kind of confusing for me. I thought I had to go ahead and set up my test, but no, that is not the case. You will go ahead and pay the money, and then they'll send you an email saying that you are verified, you're okay to go ahead and test, and then you can sign up for when you want to test. It's usually like later on, I think after you've already graduated and they have received your transcript. So you also have to send your transcript, and you want to make sure that when you send your transcript to the Board of Nursing that you are sending it after grades and everything have been completed. Don't go ahead and send it now because it won't do you no good, because they want to know that you graduated. So yeah, it's a lot of different moving parts, and you want to make sure that you're getting everything done, because you don't want to think that you got something done or something was not needed and then turns out it was needed, and it's going to push you further back into taking NCLEX and getting your license. I'm sure you have a teacher that will go over all this, but if not, like a video of what to expect, how to apply for your license, because I had no idea if it wouldn't have been for this class called Nursing Seminar. And then I've got to come back and do some studying for mental health. My last exam. How crazy is that? We're almost there. So all that was going on while I was trying to take my Unit 6 test. This test was on mental health, and like you'll see later on, I did not have the time to really study for this test. I mean, let's be real. I had the time, I just did not make the time. I was ready to be done with nursing school. My daughter's sitting here watching me talk. I was so done. I mean, you've been in it for like 2 years, 4 semesters. I was over it. Okay, I am about to study for my last Unit 6 test. It's on mental health, and to be honest, I have not been putting in the time that I need to study for this last test. I don't know if it's just I'm not motivated and I'm ready to be done. I'm so burnt out on school. But we've got to study. Let's finish this year strong. Normally, I would go in the dining room because the table is just big enough, because I no longer have that office upstairs. We turned it into a bedroom. So I'm just gonna study here and make the best of it. And something that I've been using is like a whiteboard, so I will look over my PowerPoints and then I will write down while copying, and then I'll erase it and then write down for memory. And what I'm also doing for this test is I'm using our objectives to go through and like try to learn. So for example, the second objective, there's 26 objectives for this whole test, and there was I think 4 days worth of PowerPoints, so it's a lot. But examine the phases of the therapeutic nurse-patient relationship. And so using that objective, I will look at the pre-interaction, the orientation or introductory phase, the working phase, and termination phase. Those are the different phases for mental health with the nurse-patient relationship. And so I'll go through each of those, what it looks like in each of those categories, and then write it down on the whiteboard, erase it, write it down again from me memorizing it, and then go on to the next objective. That helped me on the neuro part 2, which was stroke. And I don't know if it's just because neuro part 1 I did so bad on that I was like, we've got to switch it up. And so I spent more time studying stroke, and we had the way the calendar fell, we had more time to study. Like I had like 2 days and a weekend to study just one lecture day, which normally it's like lecture, 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 and then you've got a day off and the weekend, and the test is Monday. So it's like you don't really get a day in between lectures to study that content. But I did for neuro part 2, and I did really well on that test. But I also used a whiteboard for the test. And so let's get into it. Okay. Examine the phases of the nurse-patient. Thankfully, I was in a good spot where, I mean, I could have made, I think it was like a 50 and been okay. But with every test, I freak out and I worry, and I'm like, this might be the test. I might make a 50. And I was trying to study, trying to think of ways to make it just stick, because I mean, and to be honest, I did cram for this test. But thankfully, I ended up making, I think, like a high B. And so that was really rewarding. But mental health is just not my jam. It was like mental health, of course, you know, like schizophrenia, manic disorder, or like mania, and like bipolar disorder, and then you've got OCD, borderline, all those different personality disorders, and a lot of them have little things here and there where you can get confused. So that's why I had the whiteboard trying to figure out, like narrowing them, some of them down, like avoidant personality, borderline personality, compulsive personality, obsessive compulsive personality. Apparently those are 2 different things compared to the I don't put her to sleep talking. I hope I don't put y'all to sleep. What else is on this test? Like the differences between a withdrawal and someone that's intoxicated, like what those look like. I'm saying it's a lot, and it is just mind-blowing that they expect you to know all of it. It's wild. But you know, somehow you just do it. You do it. Like I said, life goes on for those that are around you that are not in nursing school. Like children, they don't quite understand that you're in nursing school. You gotta study, you gotta have time away. Like, they don't get it. Like, their life is still going on. It's not on pause just because you're in nursing school. So you have to try to fit in the studying where you can. Sometimes that's late at night. Sometimes that's while they are at school. Like with my son, thankfully we had help, like my grandmother. And so as she would come, I would, study a little bit. But sometimes I don't have help, and my husband's working night shift. So it's really just any little bit of time that you can find, you want to try to study. And honestly, it's like you put your own self, your own me time to the back burner. That's why by the time you are almost done with nursing school, you're just over it. You are mentally and physically exhausted, and that is okay. Eventually you will get to a spot where you can have me time, and it is important to prioritize me time when you can. Like, taking a nice bubble bath with Epsom salt is me time. But yeah, I did just want to go ahead and give y'all an update since a lot of time has passed. Like I said, I did pass this test, and then we took a HESI for our final exam, and I made like a 92.8. I was ecstatic, so happy, because I didn't study. Like, honestly, don't take my study tips. That's going dead, the monitor for the baby. Yeah, I am the worst at giving like study advice. I mean, I could tell you what to do and what has helped me, but honestly, I cram, or like the final, I'm like, I have to make like a 40, because I really wanted to keep a B. In order to keep that B, I could make like a 40. So I didn't study for the final. I mean, I know it's not the case for everyone, but my best advice for you is to go hard in the beginning. And what I mean by that is make it where you are not in a position at the very end of the semester, the final, where that final exam is going to make or break you, because I'm telling you, that stress is unbelievable. It is unreal. You do not want it. So if you can set yourself up for success in the beginning, that way you have an A or a high B, and your passing grade is, I think most places it's a C. For us, a 75 was passing. So if you can set yourself up for success in the beginning, and then later on, I'm not saying just forget about it, but it's less stress and worry on you. So then you can just recall what you know. And it is rewarding when you haven't really studied, and then you take these tests and you make like a really good grade. It's like, okay, I am retaining something. So it makes me feel just a little bit better that I do know kind of what I'm doing. I just don't have that confidence yet in myself that I know what I'm doing. If that makes sense. I passed my final, and I had graduation. That was so much fun. It was such an unreal experience. Graduating nursing school, like, oh my gosh, it has just been unreal. It's been unbelievable. I can remember the day that I was just praying. I was still working at the bank, and I was just praying like, God, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And he made it happen, y'all. I couldn't do it without the support of my husband. We've been on one income since this whole thing, and he is in law enforcement, so y'all know he is not making bank. But we've been on one income. We've had to live below our means, or, put some things on the back burner just so I can go through nursing school. So I'm thankful for my family and the support that I have, because I know some people, they have to work during nursing school. It's just what they do. I had classmates that had to work 2 jobs, or they would, work as a CNA at night and then come to class the next day. Some had kids, some didn't have kids that did that. But either way, everybody's story is different. Everybody's going through something during nursing school to some degree. And so just be kind to yourself. You've got this. If you're starting nursing school in the fall, or if you are still in the trenches in nursing school, you've got this. I believe in you. Like I said, we can be besties, online besties here, and I can help motivate you during your journey. Because if I can make it, you can make it. I promise you. So, bye y'all. Okay, shameless plug. I have my TikTok linked in my bio. Go give me a follow there. I post a lot more on there just because I can get it out a lot quicker. So if you want to see a little bit more day-to-day of my life and just some little funny videos, go ahead and follow me there too. Bye y'all.